Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin with a rather startling story from Brazil. The rescue of 39 slaves from an illegal gold mine in Brazil run by a known offender highlights the difficulty in ending crimes where large profits are involved, labor authorities said. Labor Inspector Magno Riga said a team raided a mining operation this month run by Raimunda Oliveira Nunes, who is on Brazil's dirty list of people engaged in slave labor, where workers live in open sheds without drinking water. It was the third raid on an illegal mining operation run by Nunes, this time with two relatives in the northern state of Pará, and her methods of describing her crimes were becoming increasingly sophisticated, Riga said. Nunes was found guilty of enslaving workers in 2018 and received a sentence of 5 years in prison, but she has not been jailed and is appealing the ruling. About 370,000 people in Brazil, a country of about 210 million, are modern-day slaves, according to the Global Slavery Index. Slavery in Brazil is defined as forced labor, but also includes debt bondage, degrading work conditions, long hours that pose a health risk, or work that violates human dignity. A rather sad story there. We now turn to news from Jamaica. United States Ambassador to Jamaica Donald Tapia has been hospitalized. The nature of his illness has not been disclosed. However, in a statement, the U.S. Embassy in Kingston said Tapia will be flown to the United States for medical treatment. The embassy also said the ambassador's illness was not life-threatening. Now for some news in Honduras. Doctors in Honduras are warning that the number of coronavirus infections could soar among those who use communal shelters to escape the wrath of Tropical Storm Eta last week. At least 57 people are known to have died, and 8 are still missing after Eta left a trail of destruction across the Central American country. Many areas are still underwater. Neighboring Guatemala was also badly hit. Public shelters in Honduras were opened in all communities affected by the floods, but doctors at public hospitals warned that the cases of COVID-19 could skyrocket unless strict sanitary measures were imposed into them. They said many people who fled their homes did not have access to face masks when they entered the shelters. Honduras has recorded more than 100,000 coronavirus infections and 2,765 deaths. In Trinidad and Tobago, imagine living with a gallstone the size of a large avocado in your abdomen, causing nausea and severe pain every time your body tries to process fatty foods. It was the case for a 72-year-old woman in South Trinidad back in 2018. When the woman went to the Caribbean Minimally Invasive Surgery Clinic at the Southern Medical Clinic in San Fernando, CT scans showed that her gallstone measured at 14 centimeters by 7 centimeters. Her unfortunate situation, though, led Trinidad and Tobago to another star on the map, as her surgical intervention is now among international publications on the medical journal as the world's largest gallstone removal done laparoscopically. Surgeons removed the gallstone through her navel. And finally, the Pan American Health Organization has deployed 190,000 new COVID-19 antigen diagnostic tests donated to 4 countries in Latin America and the Caribbean, and is conducting training to implement pilot testing of their operation. From its logistics stock in Panama, PAAJO shipped 80,000 tests to Ecuador, 40,000 to El Salvador, 40,000 to Honduras, and 30,000 tests to Suriname. In addition, PAAJO is training staff to carry out pilot testing for implementation in Ecuador, El Salvador, Suriname, and in Mexico. Consultations and training on implementation of the COVID-19 antigen-based rapid diagnostic tests are being undertaken in Jamaica and Venezuela, as well as Honduras, Costa Rica, and Trinidad and Tobago. These new tests, recently approved by WHO, could transform the region's COVID-19 response by allowing health workers to undertake accurate rapid testing for symptomatic patients and even in remote communities. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining.